Counter downer thingy.
I think we're live. Yeah,
Ooh,
I don't have a full
live.
counter down.
I'm not sure if
So
there's anybody in there.
there might be eventually.
There it is.
Welcome to Junker
He just
Clunker's
went live.
second live show. We got a couple of guests this week. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself. Dude, you want to go first? Dude, you want to go first? Where did dudes go?
Am I here?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Go ahead, introduce yourself, my friend.
Oh, there you go. So I'm all here. Okay. Dudes with wrenches here. What do we want to do here?
Just
we
go ahead and
rebuild
introduce
old
yourself.
cars. Yeah, that's what we do. So the introduction is about that. So we have a lot of junk we pick up along the way, and we just work on stuff, keep it pretty much stock factory. We don't build hot rods or go fast cars for the most part. Just put stuff back on the road. So that's the introduction. There you go.
That's all right. How about you, David?
Well, my channel's Forsaken Steel. I work on. So far, it's been all GM stuff, and I don't know if that'll ever change. I started all out with a '86 IROC back in April, and now I'm working with a guy, and whatever comes through his shop is what I work on. But it, unlike dudes, mine is. There's a lot of go fast stuff. There's a lot of money being spent. Not mine, but nonetheless, So who knows what you see on my channel?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I'm Grady from Junker Clunkers. My channel is literally what the title says, as I take junk and I make it something again. It's been a passion my entire life, and that's what I'm doing for a living now. As you can see, I currently have one right here. That's going to be an upcoming video. I don't want to give too much away on it, but it's a fairly rare vehicle, 61 Falcon delivery. And oh, here comes Junker's lady.
Running behind.
Running behind. So I don't really have any criteria that we meet in the lives here. I want it to just be kind of open, free, and whatever people got to talk about, go ahead and talk about it. I want to hear what everybody else is doing. It's kind of an end of the week kind of thing. What have you been recording this week?
Well, I spent a bunch more time working on a '67 Camaro that's gonna be. It's going to be a super nice car. I mean, it's a rotisserie build. The guy I've been working with, that's just what he does. He does a lot of them. He cranks out a lot of cars a year, I think. Although he is getting slower, he does mostly his own stuff now. He doesn't take on a lot of work and stuff. So, but this week we got the frame back from the powder coaters, and we stabbed the motor in and some other stuff. Trying to film some body work and make it interesting. You cannot make body work interesting. It's really tough.
You gotta like what you're doing with it,
Oh, I love it, but how do you get somebody to see how it feels?
Yeah,
That's just a lot of time lapse right there, I think.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of time lapse. I have some music I play. Yeah. Hope people enjoy the music because that's the most interesting part, I think.
Maybe you should do a little pudding stuff. Just throw on a wig and dance around while you're sanding,
Yeah.
Oh, that guy is hilarious.
I will have some comedy in this one. Yeah, I pulled a dash out of a Chevelle, a 70 Chevelle. It's a factory big block convertible super sport car.
Okay.
And I pulled a little barrette, I don't know how you say it, like girls used to wear a lot in the 70s. Came out of the dash. And I just, in my spur of the momentness, I thought I can just imagine the kid that his dad bought a 72 drop top Chevelle big block. He's kid 17. He goes out and picks up his girl, and his girl throws her thing on the dash and loses it down the vent. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm going to get caught." I don't know. It's just what came to my mind when it happened, when I found it. So I included that in the video. So
It's
But,
kind of
no.
crazy. Every story you come up with. I mean, you can tear apart a car and find stuff that's been in there as old as the car is. So
absolutely.
it is interesting to think about how it got there.
Yeah. I don't know. I figure it's something, you got to tell a story, or I mean, I feel like that's all of YouTube. You're trying to tell a story.
Yep.
And if you can't tell this some sort of story, it's it's really boring. So the bad part about I jumped from car to car a lot working with this guy. Just that because you just got to keep working all the time, and stuff gets ordered, and it is what it is. So to keep a storyline going is kind of tough.
Yep.
But I'm starting to get back in the swing of things. I took about, I don't know, 3 weeks off or so, 3 or 4 weeks off, and really didn't do much because I was closing my business down, which consumed all my time. So I'm finally starting to feel like me again, and getting back into it.
Gotcha.
What's the craziest thing I found? In a vehicle or in life?
In a vehicle, I'm guessing.
Oh,
I think.
man, I don't even know. You put me on the spot there. I'm trying to think because I used to work at a dealership. So I guess the craziest thing that I didn't technically find, but it was in a vehicle. It was one of the first vehicles I worked at the Toyota dealership. So I had the drive-on lift, right? So I had normally the bigger trucks and stuff like that I would service. But I got an RO for Toyota Prius, like an 07. And I get in the thing. You guys can see, I'm a big boy. I get in this car, and it probably had to weigh, I don't know, double the weight just because of the amount of newspapers. They were layered, so nice and neat, all throughout this vehicle, top to bottom. There was no seats, no back end, no nothing. There was just a driver's seat. You couldn't even see out the other window. So you were just relying on hopes and dreams when you turn. It was like, and that lift struggled putting it up. I'm not going to lie. You could hear that it was heavy as hell,
That's crazy.
So I got to say, that's probably the weirdest thing that I've had in a vehicle.
It's a hoarder van.
I don't know. I don't know if they were newspaper delivery people. I always seem to get the weird Prius vehicle owners. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that owns a Prius is weird, but it just seems like in this area, I seem to get all the weird ones when I work there. And they were always so full of something, You got to replace a battery, and the vehicle's full of, I don't know, dirt. There was one that had dirt in the back of it one time. You know where the batteries are in a Prius?
Yep.
So it was just like, now what about you guys?
When I was much younger and a lot broker, I used to go to the junkyards and pull out back seats for change. And I pulled a back seat out one time, and there was an unrolled condom in there, and I proceeded to gently get myself away from the vehicle as quickly as possible. I didn't need to know. It didn't matter. I was out. But I also had a car lot for a while, so I found illicit drugs and all kinds of crazy stuff. Repo. When you buy repos, you get whatever was in it when it was repoed. So, it's some pretty nasty stuff.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I bought and sold cars for years.
Yeah, there's nothing. And then sometimes when you get a repo, what's in it's heartbreaking because it's you can tell whoever had the vehicle, like they were basically living out of it, and then they couldn't pay, and then you're just trying to make $1 yourself, but the whole time you feel bad. I'd love to give these. I found like a little photo album thing probably from the early 2000s, but just I don't know, it was just somebody's personal stuff. I don't know, that was always heartbreaking when you find stuff like that. But it's just you just find some weird stuff when you buy and sell cars.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if it's so much weird stuff. I've bought a lot of auction cars, just go to estate sales and buy up something. And I've bought a few cars that were literally storage sheds more than they were cars. So you're just unloading, just junk after junk, And it's like, You know, probably the craziest car I have worked on to date, to tell you the truth, is the little Fairlane that I have sitting out in my driveway. Just because that guy went as far crazy as he could with that car, and it wasn't so much crazy stuff found in the car. It's just like as you went through it to figure out how things worked, and the wiring was so jacked up, and what made things do what, and neon lights that came on with hidden switches, and it was just like because he passed away, and the car got essentially given to somebody. So they were just like, I don't know what any of this is or how to make it work. So good luck.
Saw the wing on the back of that little Fairlane. It's kind of special.
It is.
Yeah, it's special. This is an odd shape for a square body vehicle. Do you know what that wing's for?
I don't know if it's for anything. I wonder if it was
an
off of
aftermarket.
a Mustang or maybe a Grand
Hey, Rich.
Am is what we were coming up with.
Yeah. I saw it and I was just like, it's just unusual. I couldn't figure out what it was from and whatever. So
Hey, Junker, am I too loud when I'm talking?
You're pronounced.
I'm pronounced. Okay. Well, I got this fancy boom mic over here, and I worry if it's too loud for the room.
How does mine sound? Is it low? Is it?
It sounds like a mic.
Yeah. I only paid like $32 for this headset, and it's wireless, so
There you go.
fancy.
I'm
Yeah.
cheap. I'm cheap.
I'm just happy I have a computer even. So
Are you on the computer tonight, Dave?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've upgraded to a laptop. I
Wow.
brought it home from the car lot when I shut the car lot down. I'd been using it there, and I don't need it anymore for there. So it officially became the basement computer.
Hey, it worked. I couldn't do this. I tried to do it with my phone, so I don't know how you're editing with yours. Because I went out and got the S21 Ultra, thinking it was the bee's knees,
Mhm.
as the youngins say nowadays. No. Oh, it's an old one. I don't know. But it has nothing for storage. My old
really?
my old Note 10 had more. Yeah, this
Oh.
has only got 64 gigs, something like that. My other one had 5 something, and you can't
Yeah.
add to this.
Yeah,
But
see, that's why I'm not going to anything like that then.
So
The-
this
the
is just
camera.
a Pixel 4.
The camera is awesome. You could zoom 100 times in. It's crazy.
Wow.
The kind of
that's-
pictures you could take with it.
But you can't store nothing on it.
You can't store shit.
Mhm.
I'm just like, come on. I mean,
This makes
seriously.
sense.
But
Well, I store everything to a cloud, and then when I edit it, I have to actually import it back to the phone.
Yep.
Edit it, upload it, and then I put it back to the cloud, or I delete it. I delete it. No, it's stupid that I delete all my information, but I do. I delete everything because it's.
really,
I don't have. When am I ever going to go back and go through it? Never.
you never
True.
know.
You know,
You never
I've
know, though.
uploaded what I've uploaded, and if I need some of that information back, I can always download that and pull right from it. So I'm never going to archive hours and hours of video for no reason. So I just delete it and move on.
Well, it's not no reason. I mean, you have to
Well,
appreciate the virtual hoarding option.
Yeah, virtual hoarding. I just know me. I'll never go back and look at it. I just know that.
That's true.
So
I also know that, but I keep all of it.
if I think so, I considered purchasing a terabyte hard drive just for this. And I looked at the price of it and I thought, nah, I'm cheap. I'm never going to do that. So
See, I-
Hit the like button, everybody.
There was a
Get some
period of
people in
time
the chat.
when I worked for the old DirecTV. So when we would remove an old DVR from someone's home that was, dead because the buttons stopped working or something happened to it, we would just trash them. They'd go in the dumpster. So we'd harvest all the hard drives out of them. So we built a lot of RAID array servers with 500 gig hard drives. So when you're stacking those things in there and, you got 10, 12 terabyte of information by the time you're done, and you realize I have a lot of virtual hoarding issues right now. And that one just sits off in the corner and you just forget that it exists.
yeah. And even if you ever filled it up, you could never physically go through that much and find what you want, or I never could. I could never remember what I wanted out of it. And yeah.
So that's just it. I I took way too many hours and organized everything to where it could be in. And then I used a Plex software to itemize it and like leave it in reels. And it was a lot of doing. But like you said, it's literally been in a storage box for like 5 years. I haven't even turned it on. So it's one of those, I have it though. And it's all very poor quality video that was taken in like 2006. So
still. So with the GoPro, I get free storage, unlimited.
Really?
Yep. So all
So
I
is that
do
all
is
cloud storage?
it's all cloud storage, but it works out really well. I just at nighttime when I'm done recording, I bring it in, I plug it in, it uploads. When I'm ready to do a video, I just take it onto my, from the cloud to the computer. And at some point, I'm sure I'm going to have to clean the computer out. I don't know how much this thing holds, but for the price, it better hold everything.
Yeah, I would think there'd be a limit, but I don't know.
I imagine there is. It hasn't slowed down. I'm very impressed with this computer. It's an MSI. It's a gaming computer. Like I said, I'm spending way too much on it, but it does make everything way easier.
Yeah.
I know one of the first videos that I put back out when I first came back, it was like 14 hours editing in it. And it was because it was so slow. I'd import something and it would take 5 minutes to just load into the software. And I was like, this is stupid. I got to do something different.
See, I actually just recently started editing on my computer, and it's stupid lightning fast. I'm very happy with it, and I couldn't tell you what it is. I actually had another guy that I hang out with, and I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with knowing what this is about, so please just go get me something is going to work, and he did that. So that's my computer. But I edit 98% of my stuff on my phone, so my S10, like it bogs down some, but I mean, I've edited everything and keep it all in 4K, so...
I don't do anything in 4K. I do 1080p. If you need more than that, you don't need to pay me better than that.
Here again, I like to waste space on hard drives.
I see that.
So.
Yeah, mine's usually 780. Like the shorts that I do is normally through my phone.
Mm-hmm.
My intro I actually did through my phone, and I use. What is it? Filmora is what I use for software. I don't know what you guys are using, but it's different from the phone software to the PC. I don't know what the hell the difference is, but you don't get the same music, the same effects, nothing like that.
I use Power Director, and it's the same way. Power Director on my phone, super simple. Super, super simple. I tried to do it on the computer. I just couldn't get it. It's just so different. Everything I wanted to do is not even, it didn't seem like there was an option for it, or I couldn't figure it out, or I'm electronically illiterate in some ways. And then in other ways, I understand a lot. So, but I think if I gave it enough time, I could probably figure it out, but I don't have any time. I got 3 kids.
That's my problem. I'm more than willing to learn something, but at a certain point, if I don't care, I'm just going to be like, please, I need somebody to just do this for me. And if I can, I'm probably just not going to do it because I just don't have the time.
I was amazed.
Go ahead.
I was amazed on how many YouTubers don't do their own editing.
Yeah.
And they're bigger people. It's like, oh.
If I could farm something out, it'd be editing. And for me, it's just a time thing. I need to be doing something else all the time. Even no matter what I'm doing right now, I should be doing something else. I mean, there's just always something I need to be doing. So if I could pay somebody $40 a week to edit my stuff, I'd toss them $40 and never look back.
Oh, good luck with $40.
Huh?
Good luck with the $40. It's probably.
That's what I'm just saying that's my budget. I just don't have much money. But if I had money to spend and know that somebody would do a good job, I would definitely do it.
Yeah. That's the thing though, is I know when I'm taking the video, I know how I want it to turn out.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but if
I
put that in somebody else's hands, I don't know if I'd like it.
I have a hard time letting people film. Like, to tell you the truth, like I can't even let them film it, let alone edit it. I get like, hold the camera different. Stop doing that.
How do you guys do with noise? Do you get really, really ticked off?
Depending on what it is.
Yeah. I just wing it. I mean, so I working in a shop now. You've got an air compressor that's running. You got another person that's working, and there's just always background noise, and I just deal with it the best I can and move on. I would like for there to be less noise, and if it was just my shop and it was just me, it wouldn't be a problem. But it's not my shop, so we just deal with it, and move on.
I have constant road noise because
Mm.
the road is 20 feet that way, and everybody likes to be loud around here and ride dirt bikes and four-wheelers and burn out around the corner about every other car. And
See, I can put up with that.
yeah, see, that's not that bad. And then in the backyard, I got all the animals. You'll have birds and stuff rustling around. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I just ignore it for the most part.
Me too. I figure it adds realistic sound effects to my soundtrack.
Yeah, wind noise is a bad one.
Wind noise.
I have had some videos I've literally thrown away because I tried to watch them and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't deal with this wind noise. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the GoPro again, I'm not sponsored, but I'll tell you that if I have a product I like, I'll keep talking about it. Wind noise, we've had windy days and I've been outside working on the 350. No wind. It's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the way it's built into the case or what. And there's people out there that'll say, no, GoPro's crap, but not for me. I've wanted one forever and I finally got one and I'll never let it go,
I have a GoPro upstairs and I've yet to use it. It's actually it's not even mine; it's borrowed, but it's a Hero 9, 8 or 9. I don't even know. And it's my brother-in-law's, and he's like, I've never even put it up, so I don't know.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
So one of my big issues, as you can see, my little screen says IV Cam. That's
Yeah.
the software I'm using to make my smartphone work as a webcam, because that's how cheap I am in a weird way. So I don't use anything but my phone, and I really need to probably get away from that. But I'm almost to the point where it's like I'm thinking about just buying another phone and just using it as a camera, so I have them separate.
So that's what I was considering too. Is there's technically nothing wrong with this phone, but I might buy a new phone and just turn this into my camera setup or whatever. It's expensive to do that in theory, but I don't know. I do like being able to edit on my phone because it's just so fast. I mean, I edit a video and I'm ready to upload it usually within an hour. And that's for the longer videos that I do. Sometimes it takes a little longer if I have a lot of fast motion stuff to put music to it and crap, all that. So
and it doesn't have to have phone to do that. I mean, you can have the phone deactivated and it'll still do
exactly. I can just hook it up to the Wi-Fi and download whatever. So that's kind of the plan I'm going with. And I just can't. I've considered buying a DSLR. But the DSLR comes with its own issues too. It's big, it's bulky. They're super expensive. Even a good used one is still pretty expensive. And in a dusty environment, they're not going to last. Doing body work, which I do a lot of now. Bondo dust it's a killer. It's just a killer.
Then it gets a little wet. And
exactly. Then it's concrete. So with my phone, at least it can wirelessly charge if the charging port goes bad.
Hi, Robert.
And, there's just options. They're sealed up better and stuff. So
I can't count how many times I drop my phone daily. I mean, I'm really bad about it. And I have a DSLR that I've had for a while that was a lot of money because I used to do a lot of pictures. And every time I look at it and go, I could buy a stand and I could start using that. I go, if I drop it, I'm going to get so upset if that thing gets ruined.
I feel you, man. I can't spend that money. And even the GoPro that's upstairs, I'm like, it's not mine. And I'm just afraid that it will not go back in the same condition that it came in, which means I have to buy another one and just replace it because I can't give something back that's not as good as it was when I got it. So, I don't know, it's too much risk.
I'm pretty hard on everything, including phones and everything else. I've got the tempered screens on this thing. I broke them, but they're
Yeah.
good. They're so
Yeah.
So that's
Look
the
into
crazy
it.
thing. I've rebuilt a lot of smartphones just because I'm really crappy about. I'll run the same phone for like 5 to 6 years. Won't replace it, and it'll usually get to the point where it just runs so slow and it's so outdated you can't use it
Mhm.
anymore. And that's when I upgrade to a new one. So like I break phones all the time, but then you just order all the parts, put them back together, and everybody's like, "Why don't you just go get a new phone?" I'm like, "But I already own this one, so."
Yeah. I have a
So-
2-year policy on mine. If it lasts me 2 years, I consider we've done well, and I can move on at that point. And also by that point, usually they're so laggy that and there's no support software for them anymore. And that's it. Honestly, if the support software was always there, and I could still do updates that didn't make them worse, just keep running the same stuff. I don't care.
Yep.
So one thing I wanted to do a little different is I wanted to open up the chat tonight. I want to kind of focus on the people in the chat. Maybe they got some questions for us.
People down there, you can't see it, but my screen's down there.
Your screen's down there. Mine's over here.
All right.
So if you guys have any questions for any one of us, just
Yeah,
just-
people,
just do it. People,
you dang people.
We're ready to hear from the people.
we're ready for the people. The people are ready for us.
I'm like
Yeah.
government.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear from you, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just kidding, government. We love you.
Yeah, government. We love you. This is online, so yep. Mhm.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Government.
Look at the questions pour in. We got none.
Yeah. I don't know that we'll ever be able to answer all these.
I
Can
know.
you slow down? I think there's a way to slow it down.
Somebody should ask a question about Ford Falcon deliveries.
Oh yeah, I know very little. While we're waiting for a question, do you have a carburetor?
I don't. Not for inline sixes. I've never actually owned a Ford inline six ever. So
Really?
yeah, they're all V8s. So it's like, I guess I'm lucky. I don't know.
All right, here comes some questions. Let's see. We got Adam. Adam's one of my friends. What is that Mustang? Well, as far as the Brandon thing, that's not going to be on our channel. Second, the Mustang is close to coming in. The garage is almost in the condition it needed to be. But I picked up this wagon, as Adam knows, and as most of the people that are contacted, with me daily. I'm hoping this weekend, maybe you can come over and help me push it in, Adam. That would be great.
I've been waiting on this Mustang build since I first spoke to you.
I know.
And I'm just telling you, I'm just waiting. I cannot wait to see this thing.
I know. It's rough. I'm telling you, it's rough. But
It's just sheet metal and paint, man. There's nothing to cars.
I've been
get all
terrified
excited.
of it.
It's just sheet metal and paint.
I've been terrified of it the whole time. That's why I paid a guy. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do the fun bits, the mechanical stuff. I wanted to do all the bolt-on crap.
Right.
But there's the whole point. It's like playing a guitar. It's like welding. Unless you do body work, you're never going to be good at it. So
That's true.
And I've definitely gotten better at it because you look at the truck. No, it's not perfect, but it is a hell of a lot better and done more of a correct way than I've ever done in my life.
And
Dude,
we just
this
need to get you to
never-
crank the air down on that gun.
Oh no, 120 all the way.
Man, you're just killing me.
what's
I
a
could hear
regular?
it through my headphones. I was like, dude, turn it down.
That was only at like 26.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I've sprayed as low as like 12. So,
Yeah.
it's a low pressure gun. It doesn't take just a little bit of air, moves a lot of fluid.
You see,
It's like
I've
the fluid has
never
to drop through the gun into the stream of air.
had anybody, tell me or show me the right way. It's always been just do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you can just chase the runs. You don't have any runs if you just put heavy paint on enough to the bottom.
That's
It's true.
And they just sand out anyhow.
That's fine.
It's fine. It's just paint. You know, if you don't like it, sand it off and do it again. So when I first started learning body work was in high school, which is many years ago. And my teacher basically told us, don't be afraid to mess it up.
Yeah.
We can still fix it. And I, to this day, that's how I, you know, when I start cutting panels out, I don't even think about it. We're just going to cut metal until we find good metal. Then we stop. You know, it just is what it is. So,
Yep.
Dude, this one's for you. It's been up there for a while.
Yeah.
No, see, that's why I went to purple. He knows what happened.
Hey, I will answer what my favorite beer is.
Yeah, that's the next one.
The one in hand.
The one in hand. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank in 4 or 5 years now. I'm sorry. But Twisted Tea and Bud Light, those were my two favorite back then. What about
See,
you?
I don't really have a favorite beer. I used to drink a lot of Miller High Life because I'm an aristocrat. But that's about it. I don't drink beer. Mostly hard alcohol if I do drink. I kind of took off drinking for the last year and a half because I was getting a little too much there for a while. So, yeah, take it easy.
I'm a one beer kind of guy. I have a beer and I'm happy. You know, I usually just want a beer with dinner if I have a beer. You know, and then that's it. I don't need more than one. I just don't drink a lot.
See, that's the kind of friends I have right there. They just want to watch.
Just wanna
That's why.
watch.
That's why he doesn't stop by anymore because he knows I'm always doing something.
That will run your friends off quick.
You're not kidding.
When they show up and you're like, "Hey, can you hold this?" And they're like, "Yeah, I gotta go."
I do that to my brother all the time. He used to stop by every single night, and then he stopped probably because I made him work every time he came here. Light show now.
Very nice.
Light show with dudes.
Let's chill with dudes. Well, that gets bright. What's that doing back there? All right, enough of that.
You should put it under the car.
Yeah, I've tried a couple different things back there. It gets kind of weird depending on where you put the light.
It makes for a nice backdrop. I think it's cool. I mean, my lights are so bright that you can't look up. So,
Well, that's the problem. Like, if I actually turn on my garage lights in here, everything's just going to be white noise, just woof,
yeah,
glare from everywhere.
yeah.
Wasted. I tried last night. He wouldn't do it. Nobody was doing anything last night, and I said, "Dudes, come on, go on." He's like, "Ah, no."
I don't
He
do
just
the
wouldn't do it.
lives.
Just wouldn't do it.
Sometime, maybe, probably not, but okay, possible.
Don't want to be on camera. So, talking about my buddy Adam, I wish out of all the things that have happened in this garage, I wish one thing was on camera. A couple of years ago, we were working on that C10. You saw the Will It Start video on the channel. And he was in the front of the garage doing rear brakes. And he somehow took these needle nose angled pliers and he jammed him in his nose. And then he had to pull it out. Now, one thing you guys don't know about Adam is he hurts himself all the time, and he has a bleeding disorder where he doesn't clot. So, can you imagine?
Why?
I
That said
don't
you
know.
weren't drinking anymore. Like, what transpired
This
here?
this is after the drinking fun times were, man.
Wow.
I do have another video of him eating a cinnamon stick. That was pretty cool. We were fairly drunk then.
That's why I don't come by anymore. That's about right. I force myself to injure myself, and I can't be seen with you anymore.
Oh, there's Adam. Fuck off.
I still
that's-
don't understand the why. Like,
Why he hurt himself?
yeah.
I don't know, but stuff like that happened to him all the time. I don't know how you go from any, you can even stand under this lift because I'm at the desk. This is back when I owned my business and I was doing paperwork, and then you hear, "Oh shit!" and I look down and I just see these pliers hanging out of his nose and he's running around crazy.
All right. I
Sounds like a bad time for him. I mean,
It was-
just that does not sound pleasant.
definitely sounds like a bad trip indeed.
uh,
Oh, he was pulling the rear brake springs and it
Yeah.
slipped. Oh,
Yeah. yeah, he was halfway
that
through the
makes my
job.
face hurt, man. I'm sorry to hear it, Adam. That makes my face hurt.
No, you guys had to been there. It's one of those things, you know. It was pretty
That's
funny
all
on
right.
my end. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll tell you what. At a younger age, we used to always scrap a lot of cars. So you'd always have some fun, like, hey, let's take a sledgehammer and break all the windows out of this thing and fill up a little more scrap and whatever else. So I learned a really fast lesson one time. If you take a 12-pound sledgehammer and you're acting like Mr. Cool Guy and you're running around without a t-shirt on at all in the middle of summer and you start smashing windshields real close, you get peppered with a lot of glass. And then you go and you put your shirt back on and then you realize you're just kind of bleeding through it everywhere. And you're like, what happened? Oh, that glass thing where I was smashing and just squinting my eyes real hard.
Never done that without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm not one for protective wear in general, but I'm gonna wear a shirt when I'm breaking glass. I broke a lot of glass out scrapping cars too, and I just can't even imagine it.
I've done it enough times where when I was younger, I'm not gonna say I've done it recently, you smash a windshield and then you're like kind of bam, and then you're like spitting out some pieces and you're like, oh, that was good. Fun times.
Yeah, windshields are worse than like side glass. Side glass breaks into nice, manageable pieces. I try my best not to break a windshield if I can help it at all. And I've broke a few, not in some intentionally, but most not intentionally. And the glass just gets everywhere from a windshield. And there's little slivers, and they're just sharp on every edge. And you can't vacuum them out. Even they're just I don't know. It's almost like. And it's fine dust. That's what was on your chest probably. It was like that dust.
Yep. It is. And then I put that shirt on. It was just like,
yeah. That does not sound pleasant.
I do remember bought a 2002 Trailblazer as kind of a fixer-upper one time. And we got a bunch of suspension parts fixed on it, did a tune-up, put some tires on it. We're just going to resell it. Well, we drove it. We'd always hear this crazy noise in the back end. We're like, what is that noise? Go around the corner, you hear this. And once we figured out, the back glass had been broken at some point in time and somebody replaced it. And they never cleaned out any of that glass inside the door. So it was just like once we pop that panel off, it's just a pile of glass just running from one side to another inside the door panel.
That's right. Yeah, that's crazy. I bought cars that had the rear plug drain plugs plugged up and the water being the doors. And you go around the corner and you hear the water sloshing in the doors. Yeah. And then, after the first one, you figure it out. But when you drain it, it's always the nastiest stuff.
You broke my girlfriend. Thanks. Dudes, look at the screen.
I see it. I don't know why it says that, but I see it. I need to get some of that Joe Rogan money.
Best of luck to you, man.
Maybe work out more. I don't think I got the.
I think the working out comes after you get the money. Then you don't have anything to do.
Maybe.
Probably a lot more time on your hands.
Now, here's a question for you guys. If you made it big in the YouTube world, what would you do? Would it change you? Would you change? Would you be a bigger shop? Oh,
absolutely. I'm not about suffering. I'm not going to climb around on my back the rest of my life fixing cars. I will have a lift. I will have, a shop that's big enough to actually put cars in. Yeah. They want to sell me an extended warranty over here. Anyways, yeah, that's not selling out. That's buying in.
Buying in, huh?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if I made it big to where like money isn't an issue, I'd stop fixing cars. I'd pay somebody to do that for me. And I'd start like a finance channel and I'd tell people how to use their money because I already have some.
They get paid.
Get way more views.
Yep.
Have you watched some of those? It's like
I watch several because I don't have much money, but I like to be able to know what people do that have money. Yeah. Just in case someday I do make it big and I have money.
Just in case. I need those big money ideas.
I think I would be very humble if I didn't have to work ever again. I would still work,
Oh, yeah.
but I would
I
be
still
smart
work.
about it. I mean, I probably wouldn't live where I am now. I want more property where the city can't be like too many vehicles. I would love that.
Dude, does
But-
that sound familiar? The city.
Damn city.
You go through it too, huh?
Just a little.
Just a
I'm
little.
I'm
4 times
waiting.
in 4 years is what I think what you said.
Well, they shut my business down. You know, I'm not able to work.
That blows my mind that they can
Yeah.
legally do that. You are already a running business.
Yeah,
To have a business license rejected is one thing. Like, oh, I want to open a business here, and they go, no, you can't do that.
Nah. Move
But
rezoned.
once it's up and running, it's like, you can't take my livelihood from me.
Yeah.
You want to feed my kids? You know,
they did.
that just blows my mind.
So maybe I don't know the full story. Maybe I should pay attention more. But so what was your full-time business there?
I had a mechanic shop right out of
Okay.
here, and that's what I did every single day.
Okay.
And
They came in and said you couldn't do that at your house.
right, it was it's not the correct zoning.
Yep.
They didn't say too much about the business itself. They said, you got to go find something within a, not a residential area. And I'm like,
Yeah. And see, I get that question all the time. I'll have cars out here working on 3 or 4 of them, and I work on cars for people, not for money, but just people I know.
that's where it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it becomes a business is when it becomes an issue.
So I always make sure to, sketch that line. And I'll have people randomly, like it happens probably once a week. People will pull into my driveway and just go, hey, man, do you work on cars here? It's like, nope, just my own. I'm like, is this a trick? Is somebody trying to trick me?
I did it for 5 years. And the city hall is right across, literally, 400 feet away from us?
That's-
500 feet at the most. And it's
somebody doesn't like you, sir.
I imagine. They put in a lower income elderly thing next door a couple of years ago. I don't know what the hell you call it.
So what you're saying is you need to, quicken up some of their into life stuff for them.
So I crashed a Mustang in their parking lot, and I don't
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
I have no idea why they have it out for you.
I don't know why they're upset at me. I mean, do a kickflip.
Dude, I'm telling you, once again, one of those things I wish I had the camera rolling for. It's when I wrecked that car.
So what do you mean? What were you doing? Like doing some donuts in the old person's parking lot?
No, so stupid me. I bought this this Fox Body Mustang. I wanted the motor and transmission. I mainly wanted the transmission, but whole car, $300. I had it dropped off, and I got this from a buddy. Now, there's more to the story of this friend, but I don't know if we have enough time for that. Okay. First, he has a curse that I shit you not. He has a curse that everything that he sells to somebody tries to kill them.
Oh, yeah?
If my brother was on the chat right now, he could tell you. But anyhow, I decided, I know there's no brakes. I've driven vehicles without brakes for years. Whatever, no problem. I take it down the street. I turn it around. I start coming back up. I slam it into second, chirp the tires, and my buddy nudges me. He's like, hey, remember, there's no brakes. I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I don't know what happened. I tried to shut it off, and I shifted it into what I thought was first to slow down. Looking at it now, it wasn't first. It was probably fourth. So we come around the corner, and there was the option of either hit a truck or go into this parking lot. So I go into the parking lot. I round the corner, and I just see the yellow pole, and I'm like, that's where we're going to land it. Done. Totaled. Terrible, man. It was a decent car, too.
landing zone over here.
Oh yeah. I wasn't even out of the car. The car had slammed down. I opened the door and got out, and I was like, holy shit. And the old folks over on the rock wall smoking butts, and they're calling 911. I'm like, no, it's not registered.
That's right. No, don't call the law.
They did. They called the
Of
law.
course they did. You wouldn't hit their yellow post.
Yeah.
Motorcycle wasn't starting in their parking lot, and I went to do a running start push, and I ate gravel.
Yeah, I guess there's reasons that they hate us over there.
You're disturbing the peace of the elderly, my friend.
Yeah.
I didn't ask them to get moving there. I was
You didn't ask
perfectly
them.
happy with a dead end down here.
That's true.
I mean, come on.
Oh, there's something nice about living on a dead end street. I wish I lived on a dead end street. Well, technically it is a dead end street, but I'm on the corner and the other street's super busy.
Yeah, I watch you go down that street, and it's like the houses
Yeah.
start getting more and more expensive. And then
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all I can think of is what happens if something goes wrong and he just goes into one of those houses.
It's fine. They've got insurance. It's fine.
They're insured. It's fine.
It could be. I mean, it's definite. The house I live in compared to the neighborhood that I drive through, they love my clapped out crap. I'm sure. Come through there loud and obnoxious, and they have to love me. They just have to.
See, I had a neighbor across the way that I thought he absolutely hated me because, he kind of gave me some dirty looks. And I finally, after like 3 years, I went over and talked to him. And he was actually like, yeah, I really like your stuff. And I'm like, oh, cool, this guy loves me. And then I figured out he hates everyone else. So I'm just like, cool.
Yeah. Biggest fan is some guy you thought hated you. I'm okay. I'd be okay with that. But yeah, when I drive my stuff through, it's usually in the middle of the day. I figure they should be at work, right?
Yep.
That's my thoughts. They should
They
be at work.
They
And if
have
they're
money.
not, that's not my fault. It's a public road.
Not on me.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I
my
like
thing
loud
is,
exhaust. That's my thing. Is everything I own has to be loud.
I like a
I don't-
mild level of deafness.
If you can't hear me coming, I don't need to own this vehicle anymore.
Yeah. I had enough of that growing up that I have like some loss of hearing because of it. So I'd like to try to keep what I have left.
So when I met her almost 2 years ago, she's got this 2019 Jeep Renegade, bone stock, clean, nice car. We were dating for a month maybe, and I crawled under there with a Sawzall.
Oh,
It's fine.
yeah. Warranty? Who needs any of those?
It'll make it run better, I swear.
Yeah.
I tell them about the hood. The
Oh, yeah,
rack.
It's in the intro. Everybody sees it.
Oh,
That's going to be coming on the channel here. We got a little surprise on that thing.
Ooh,
But she-
are you doing a 10-inch lift and 37s
They have a 10-inch.
and a Hemi?
what?
We bought the wrong one.
Yeah, you bought the wrong one.
Damn.
Bought the wrong one.
No, because I work in healthcare.
Yeah, she
I
works
I
in
heard
health.
Renegade
Oh,
was
you
like
work
what
in
a-
healthcare.
She does. She works in like a group home right now, and she's supposed to bring this guy to a boxing class or something once a week. Dude says, "I'm not getting in that already."
You're talking about a wealthy engineer from New York that moved to this little ritzy town, and I come in with a kind of souped up Renegade with all these stickers, Junker Clunker stickers, and all rough country, whatever. And he looks out the window. First of all, he always hears when I'm coming into the driveway because of my exhaust. And then he looks out the window. Now this guy has got an Austin Healey in his garage, so you think that he would appreciate, custom cars because he's got an Austin Healey. So, I thought he's a car guy, he'll be okay. He looks at my car and he's like, "No, I am not getting into that."
Austin Healey is a different kind of car guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a snootier. That's a snootier crowd.
Look at that.
Concours
Look at that.
Restoration. I thought I brought my drink.
Yes.
I did not.
It would not do for me
Kinda
to
gotta
have
put
one of
this
those
pinky
because I
up
would
a
just
lot.
cut it up. So,
Yeah, I would cut it up too. I am who I am. You know, I like loud things, and I don't keep anything stock at all.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to even do that. I mean, people keep their cars stock. I'm like, how boring are you?
Her
You know?
her father won't let me touch his car. I've been able to do brakes and tires and an oil change. That's it. He won't let me put.
There's nothing
He's a
wrong with
huge.
stock.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a lot wrong with stock.
Oh, that's the stock is the lowest common denominator for most cars.
All right. So daily, the stuff I daily drive does not get modified.
No,
Okay?
I agree. Well, but that's a daily. But
It's a daily.
yeah, I don't know. I've dailied some pretty nice stuff. So
I'll cosmetically modify some things, maybe add something here or there to make it more manageable or reliable.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I just leave it alone. It's just perfectly good the way it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I start out that way. I always start out with the best of intentions to keep
There you
them
go.
as a daily, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and then so there's a Cadillac. I did a will it start on a Cadillac Escalade truck that I have, and I had that thing 30 minutes and had already spent $5,000 on a lift and wheels and tires, and because I wanted to be different, and I love that. I love dailying that thing because it got the people hated it or loved it, and I loved how polarizing it was for people to see just which way they'd fall because it's a lifted Escalade truck. So the Escalade purists hated it, but all the rednecks around me love it. So, I've had it in the woods. I've had it covered in mud. I just get them out and beat on them. It is loud. I loved it, but now daily a car that's for sale, and I have for 2 years. I had the car lot. I drove whatever was on the lot.
The Jeep.
Yes, I've been driving it, still driving it.
Yep.
I need to sell it, but I just means I have to fix something else to drive.
Somebody's texting me on my camera phone.
That's right, on your camera phone. Yeah, boy, flip phones were the original camera phone. How far have we came?
Dudes.
What?
Screen.
Oh, dudes riches. What's? Oh, hey, well, it's stockish mechanically. Not all the rest of it. That's not stock.
The Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
don't know.
wanted to get a sticker for the back window of the Cadillac that said Psycho Billy Cadillac. That was my Johnny Cash reference.
Yep.
Yeah. I always wanted that for it. And at that time, I didn't have a vinyl cutter. I couldn't cut my own. Now I've seriously considered making that several times. It's just different. I like to be different. I don't want to look out in a parking lot and go, they're all the same. Which one's mine?
Yeah, and I can see that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't modify a car. I'm on the don't modify it side. I'm just saying you don't have to.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a van outside that I've modified. It's just who I am. I can't help it. It just gets under your skin, and you're like, I got to do something to it. How are people going to know it's mine?
I'm waiting for that one, and you've got to get started.
Oh, my future van? I've not got. It's not even home.
Hi, baby.
It's that's a long way off. It needs to be a sooner rather than later thing. But my plate is full. I currently own 11 cars, and I need to sell 9 of them.
There you go.
So they all need work. So I have 9 vehicles I need to fix.
That's why I'd like to say I'd like to go out and modify everything I own. There's plans and ideas for everything I got, but it comes down to manageable projects. So if you can get them running, driving, and enjoyable, I would rather have a running and driving car that I can enjoy than one that I start tearing all apart to make it go faster or this or that. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather have 10 running and driving nice cars than 2 that are constantly broken that I'm constantly tearing apart.
Then you don't own a Jeep then, right?
I do own a Jeep, and it's amazing.
What is it?
It's a 93 4 Jeep Cherokee. It's
Really?
a junk bucket. It's the cheapest side by side I've ever bought.
Bella. Hi,
The
guys.
cheapest
Oh,
side
no. No.
Oh, those were really indestructible Jeeps. People wheel them around here all the time.
I gave $400 for it. I've done nothing to it, and I have beat the living snot out of it every time I start it. So,
Yeah.
No,
I'm not big into Jeeps in general.
I'm not.
But every part of them kind of sucks in some sort of way, in my opinion.
Most of the people.
But people love them.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't get it. People just attach themselves to these Jeeps, and it's a whole culture, and good for them. I am not part of their culture.
Nope.
I haven't put it on the channel too much. I really wish that I would have recorded and done videos on my Grand Cherokee.
Yep.
And that's an 01. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the intro and maybe in the background. That thing turned out killer to me. It really did. You know, I paid $400 for that thing, and it was a rolling death trap when I got it. And now it's just rolling. You know.
I don't know. I've never been in that model Jeep and not thought that I was about to die. So
the WJs, I love them. I absolutely love the WJs.
Well,
but then that YJ that I did a restore on, that was awesome too. That was a great experience. I would love to do one and have one for my own. I wish that one could be my own.
See,
but then again, every time I work on a vehicle, I want it to be mine. So
I fall in the opposite category of that. I want to buy them, build them, and send them on their way.
Nope.
Send it to the next guy. I just want to get paid when it's over.
Nope.
And if I can't get paid when it's over, somehow I feel like I've not done justice to myself for my time. Stuff is expensive. So I don't know. I've built a lot of cars and I've made a lot of money, but I've also lost a lot.
I have an F-150 that I've had since I was like 23, so maybe 22, maybe even longer. But it's sitting out back, and she's dying.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Adam's gonna pop on here and be like, "Yeah, you need to throw that away." But it still runs, it still drives. I need to fix a brake line before winter, you know.
Yeah.
And it plows. What more do you need?
It's a half ton at this point.
What's that?
Is it a half ton?
It's yeah.
Yeah. You're one of those guys. I see how you are.
Well, no, I got the 350 now.
Well, as long as you're only plowing your driveway, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I do mine and the neighbors and the out front because the
saying,
city sucks.
Maybe a plow isn't a very good idea on a half ton. Just saying.
I've never had a problem. If you if you watch my videos, you'll see that truck pull that 40-foot camper and didn't even. It was just like, is that it? I'm telling you, this truck has always done me right, no matter what.
What a truck can do and what it should be doing are two entirely different things. I'm very glad that you're building a nice truck now.
I will say that when I move,
you're going to be part of a PSA someday. That's all I'm saying.
I probably will be. At that point, Grady knew he fucked up.
Yep.
I probably will be.
Your meme will be epic.
That's all I asked.
I'll spare your meme. Don't worry.
No, I take vehicles and I run them until there's nothing left of them. I do sell them when I get bored, but there are those ones that just never leave me.
I'm really trying to get one right now.
Yeah.
Ford. I have an ATV, which I never have time to four-wheel anymore because I'm a step parent. I work. I spend most of my time helping him if I don't have anything going on. And I fell in love with this Ford Galaxy. And I want to actually trade my ATV for the Galaxy, and he's considering it.
I agree.
So I'm hoping to get it, and I got someone asking me why I would want such a boat. But my first car was a Chevy Celebrity. I've learned to drive in Buick LeSabre and a Park Avenue, and then I drove school bus for a couple years, the big 40-foot school buses, and I had my CDL for like 4 years. So, I mean, I have big
I
cars.
support any decision that has Galaxy in it.
It's
I'm with
rough.
him on this one for sure.
It's rough, but I know in time it can be something awesome.
Sheet metal's available for all the Galaxies.
What year Galaxy are we talking?
What year was that? That was 66.
Yeah.
There you go.
I definitely support that.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
super in love with it, but
Yeah, he might be watching because I sent him the link to this tonight. I said, "Come on," and you could see where your car would be going because
we're old car lovers.
So now I've got 2 classics. She really wants something for her own.
Oh, I want 2 because I want my El Camino
She
too. But...
she was stealing my my 01 Mustang until I turned it into a standard this summer. She was kind of upset about that.
Yeah.
It's time
But
to
that
learn.
He
not on my
won't-
shit.
Yeah, he won't let me. He wants
Listen, it's
that
just sheet metal and paint. Go beat on it.
car to work on to learn
You don't
with.
need a clutch.
And it was what was it, a Scion? Yeah, it was the Scion that he did a burnout on in one of his other videos. If you watch
saw
one
that
of his
video.
videos where he was burning out, and then the frame was so bad that he all of a sudden had a conscience. All of a sudden, and was like, "Oh, I can't put her in that."
I couldn't register it. It was bad. Like if she
Yeah.
hit something or something hit her in the rear, it would have been really bad. And I sold it. When I sold it, I said, "Listen, this is a parts vehicle. If you do something else with it, that's on you." And I have it recorded. I have them signing a letter of it.
Yeah.
Past that,
I think my camera's locking up there. Dang camera.
So your
Yeah.
camera phone's having issues.
God dang camera phone. Can't even
Oh,
keep up.
jeez.
All these fancy equipments.
Doesn't even work. That's what I get for investing my money in things.
That's right. How many years old is it?
It's good. It's an S10, so it's probably
Oh,
3
it's
years
fairly
now.
new.
Yeah.
It is a granny car.
No, I love their car.
Granny
It is-
car. What?
I drove.
What year is that thing? Is it 2015 or 16?
Oh. I thought we were
You
talking
would-
about a Galaxy.
Oh, I hope not.
No, shit, no. I want that.
What?
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 Huh?
I love big cars. So a lot of what makes me buy certain cars is, can I get rid of it in the future? And
I
I'm
agree with that.
finally seeing that people are starting to gravitate towards bigger cars from the 60s. And I'm super okay with that.
Well, and it's the same idea. Like you get into a lot of older cars, and I'm not a big guy by any means. I'm not going to say I am, but I am 6'1", and I find myself having trouble getting into certain things. So then I realize I need a bigger car because people in the 60s were smaller, I guess. You think
Yeah.
these cars are huge, but a lot of them aren't all that roomy when you get in them.
Yep.
I don't know how the hell I'm gonna fit in this Falcon.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
gonna
gonna
have-
I was going to say something like that.
I've already come up with an idea that I'm going to have to unbolt the seat, drill a couple holes, and then bolt it back down temporarily.
So does it still have the bench seat in it?
It does.
You need to find a set of first-gen Mustang seats, and then you can adapt the sliders to go back further. My brother, he had that 60 model Ranchero, and we put Mustang first-generation Mustang seats in it because they sit a little lower and there's not as much padding. Hey, look, Dudes is back.
I don't know if I am yet, though.
Technical whiz. I can see you. So,
Just going to move really slow.
I actually have several front seats to a Mustang sitting over.
You
there.
should try to put one in and see how you feel about it, because I think you could easily modify it, and I think you'll be happy with it. That's what we used. And I'm a big
But-
dude, and my brother's a big dude, and we both fit in the front of that Falcon Ranchero. It was a wild ride. We took up the whole thing, but it was great. Good times.
I also have some WJ leather seats that might be nice in that thing too.
There you go.
They're pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, they're kind of tall,
Yeah.
but that
Old
might be
cars
that
with
might be
tall
kinda nice.
seats always look odd.
Yeah, you almost want to take headrests and everything off the
Mhm.
car to where you don't want to look through the car and
What?
see the headrests before you see the
Yeah.
back of the car.
615. You weren't subscribed to me?
I like to snap my neck when I take off. It's fine.
Me too. Yes. If it catches me middle of my back, that's perfect.
Well, I hate to say it, but we're running a little over. I want to be what's the word? Respectful to Old Car Guy.
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah.
are they're doing their season finale tonight, and I'm gonna go and eat dinner and watch it, and then next week we'll probably do an 8 o'clock show, and then from then on, we'll see what goes on.
Alrighty.
Well,
But
thanks for having me on, man.
I appreciate both of you coming on, and thank you for everybody watching. Please, everybody, go hit the like button and share it out. Keep coming on to everybody's channel. If you're not subscribed to either one of them, go check them out. They're really cool guys, and I want to see that damn Camaro done. Are you not a cool guy?
I mean, it's behind me. I worked on it for like 15 minutes one day.
The camera's locked again. Back to broken
dude.
car. I'll tell you what, though.
What is that thumbnail? I'm just curious before we leave.
That right there is a 1976 Maverick.
Oh,
And we did walk away, but very
Wow.
injured.
Oh,
Wow.
you were in it?
Well, in it, out of it, pulled back in it. Yeah, it's fine.
No, that's a wild ride. Okay, I was just curious. I saw it earlier, and I was like, that does not look good.
It was only like 3 endos and like 6 barrel rolls and then a pole. It's fine.
Hey, you made it. Here we are.
Here we are.
Yep. Well,
I'm
we're
not
going to
as
end
smart
it
as I
there.
used to be, so
We're going to end it there so we can respect the other part of the community. And
All right,
I don't
man.
know. I don't know how to end these, but
Just say goodbye.
goodbye. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.